Welcome to the MLM Success Coaches Expert Interview Series, your ultimate resource for network marketing, blogging, and social media tips. If you have a question, we got an answer. And now, your host, Ian Beatty.
Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is our inaugural episode of MLM Success Coaches. I'm your host, Ian Beatty, and today I have joining me Miss Tracey Walker. How you doing, Tracey?
I'm wonderful, Ian. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right, so before we get into the questions, I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know about Tracey and who she is. Tracey has a master's in marketing from Florida A&M. She's an internet network marketer, meaning that she uses the internet to primarily promote her network marketing business. She's all over the internet. You could pretty much Google her name and find her everywhere. She's an L4 leader in the MSC program, and she's third overall for all-time signups. And there's some rock star marketers in the MSC program, so to be third overall is excellent. You can find Tracey over at MLMisEasyOnline.com. She's a public speaker as well as a motivational speaker, and she's a self-proclaimed lover of people. So with that said, some people, huh?
I'm just kidding.
So with that said, let me go ahead and ask you this first question. Tell us a little bit more about your story and how you got involved with network marketing and what you think your mission is for your business this year.
Okay, well, I got started in network marketing back in January of 2007, and it was brought to me by a very good friend of mine. I went to college with him. His father is, and at that time still was, a very successful restaurateur in Chicago, multimillionaire. And my friend was actually in mortgages during the time I was heavily involved in real estate investing. And we were both experiencing some of the downturns in the marketplace. And he called me one day and said, well, look, Trace, I want you to take a look at something my dad is doing, and maybe we can do this to supplement our incomes because the closings were not happening as fast as they were before.
Right.
So I said, okay, fine. So I went out to his dad's house, and I saw my first network marketing presentation. I can't say it was my first one ever, but it was the first one ever where I went purposely to review the information. Others I had been to because someone kind of got me there for whatever reason, but this one I was literally going. I knew that I was going. Yeah, exactly. So I went to the house and I saw the presentation, and I signed up that night. So that was like January 2007, and 2 days later, because that was a Sunday, so by that Tuesday, they threw me in front of the team, and I started presenting every Tuesday and every Thursday,
wow.
48 hours in the business.
Wow.
So I didn't know the pay plan that well. I didn't know all the products that well. It was more like a service-based company. All the services, I wasn't well versed in it. I wasn't an expert. I wasn't a guru. I was brand new. And but I always liked to speak. I mean, from a background in marketing in school, that's what I did when I worked at different places. I did a lot of presentations about our products. I presented to investors. I presented to people in different economic, well, not really economic, but I worked in multicultural divisions. So I would present to people in other countries and things of that sort. So that was kind of my deal, and I liked doing that. And I realized at that point that this platform of network marketing would actually give me an inroad to doing more of that, because that's what I like to do. It came natural for me to do it. And so from 2007 to now, I've been pretty much full-time inside of network marketing / internet marketing. And in terms of my goals or kind of what I see this year for my business, well, a lot of things are taking place, and things are expanding, and different business partnerships and relationships are forming. So I don't really know what's going to happen. All I can tell you is that my vision for my company is to do a couple things. Number one, to continue to spread the message of free enterprise and share with people that it's very possible for them to make a from a corporate environment to a home-based business environment if they decide to do so, provide them with the trainings, the resources, and the tools to be able to do it, and then teach them how to leverage the internet to do that from a real part-time basis if they're able to do some things at home. So that's kind of the scope of how I do or what I want to do, but how that's coming together and being able to branch out and tap into so many people, that's what's exciting, and I don't know, that's changing every day, but that's kind of the mission.
Right. That's a lot. 48 hours in the business, huh? That's excellent.
Hours. So that's why I don't really buy a lot of excuses from, oh, I'm new, oh, I'm a newbie, somebody has to hold my hand. That type of terminology doesn't really fly that well with me because, number one, that wasn't my experience. I mean, I think that when you get pushed off the edge, you're either going to fly or you're going to die. Right. And as human beings, we have this thing called survival. And chances are you're going to do everything you can to survive so that you don't die. Right. And that's kind of the same kind of concept when you're starting a new business. You kind of got to get pushed off the edge and go.
Yeah, that's funny because a lot of people think you're going to die. And most of the time it cripples them and they don't do anything. But I think it's encouraging that you were able to do that within 48 hours, not knowing anything. For my viewers, that lets them know it's all about just getting out there and taking all-out action.
Exactly.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about attraction marketing. Attraction marketing has been coined in the network marketing industry, but we know attraction marketing can be used in any industry. So why do you think attraction marketing has been so popular in network marketing?
Well, you know what, Ian? I mean, the truth of the matter is that attraction marketing is really popular in everything. I just don't think people focus on it. In business school, or I guess in any career, you're trained to look at things from the perspective of that particular entity, right? So as a marketing person, I've always been trained to look at things with a marketing eye, not from a consumer eye. Right. People that are engineers look at things from a more processes type of perspective as opposed to a consumer perspective. And so when you look at anything like television commercials, that's attraction marketing, right? You can't buy from the television right that second unless it's an infomercial. But generally, commercials are designed to attract you to the product, the service, whoever the celebrity endorser may be or whatever, and then is a call to action. Go here and go get your upgrade on your phone, or go here and get this special deal, buy two, get one free, right? And it's bringing people in the door, right? Best Buy does that all the time. All types of big box organizations do that all the time. But from a home-based business perspective, people tend to think that the only way that you can make sales is if you do the door knocking, right? If you're going to the prospect, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. But you could definitely leverage that concept of attraction marketing in your home-based business. And I think that now more than ever, people are making it probably a little bit more exciting or bring it to the forefront because we live in a time frame now where economically people are looking for something. Right? And when people are looking for something, they're going actively typing things in Google. They're actively typing things in YouTube. And that process of looking for something, when you can turn the mirror around and somebody says, how did you find my webpage? Right? And they say, oh, well, I was already looking for network marketing. Right. Well, then now you can help explain, well, that's attraction marketing, right? I put some content there. So whenever you went to search for it, you would find me as a potential provider or, supplier of whatever it is that you want. So I think it's just exciting now because people have realized that you don't have to do a lot of outbound all the time. You can learn how to market, drive business, drive sales inside of your organization. And you can do it on automation. You can do it by outsourcing. You can do it and not even physically be a part of what you're doing. And that gives people a good perspective of how they can succeed at a business when they realize that they don't have to go out and spend 12 hours or 6 hours driving around trying to drum up business from a traditional sales standpoint.
Right. It's interesting because network marketing has been primarily push marketing for ages, and meaning that the customer has to experience the product, has to be demonstrated, has to be felt and touched. But with inbound marketing, it's like it makes people feel like they're not doing anything. because it's not like immediate response. With push marketing, you get to see yourself going, driving around and showing the product to people. But the concept of actually building a blog, building a community, putting information out there, and then waiting for that community to grow, it really makes people feel like they're really not involved in anything.
Right.
Because they have to put a lot of effort in before they actually start to see their community build up. So, speaking of that, your blog is MLMiseasyonline.com. How did you come up with that name, MLM is Easy Online?
You know what, Ian? When I first got started, I was just, there's no method to the madness for that name, I promise you. I was just looking for a name. I knew that my name to my blog needed to be similar to a title of a book, right? You go to the bookstore and you look at the title should give somewhat of it, of idea of what's within the pages.
Right.
There needs to be a match. So I knew it needed to have MLM in it. And I knew that I kind of wanted to merge online or internet marketing or something with it. And I kept just going to GoDaddy looking and typing up different things until I found something that worked that kind of engulfs that concept. And so that's kind of how I came up with it. I did not come to the table with it. It wasn't something that I always knew my blog was going to be called that. It was just, I wanted MLM in it. I know I needed internet in it or online in it. And I just kept playing around and lucked up on it.
Right, that's good. I say that because we need to take action. Don't get caught up over domain names. Don't get caught up over how it's going to look, what this is going to be and what that's going to be. The whole purpose of this show and me interviewing experts is just to let you know that the expert doesn't always know what they want. They just went and did it. That's the most important thing, they did it. Now, I seen an interview online with you, and you were talking about how you teach your team to lead with the product. In network marketing, there's been a debate for ages. Do I lead with the opportunity or do I lead with the product? And for industry as a whole, they basically said lead with the opportunity. Why have you taken the approach of teaching your team to lead with the product?
Now, Ian, kind of breaking up on me. I fully heard the question.
Okay. Is that better now?
Okay, I can see your screen better now. Say that again now. I heard the first part, like people can lead with the product or the opportunity.
Right.
But what was the final question?
I was saying in network marketing, they pretty much taken the approach of leading with the opportunity. I was wondering why you teach your team to lead with the product.
Well, the truth of the matter is that I don't necessarily try to teach my team to lead with one or the other. What I understand is this, okay? The average person getting started in network marketing is afraid to talk to anybody about the opportunity. They're afraid to, tell somebody that they haven't made enough money yet. They're afraid to do all these different things that would basically allow them to recruit distributors more heavily up front. So if you have a good product or a good service, then I think that people can become a little bit more comfortable when they use the product or the service. They have a benefit from that product or service, and then now they can share their result with the marketplace, right? Because on the opportunity side, we're really talking about money, right? We're talking about a way to make more money. We're talking about building a business or whatever. And the result of having a successful business is, are you making money from it? Right? So the people that haven't made any money will always or generally sit on their hands with telling people because they haven't made any of the money. Right? But if we can get them to get a result with the product, then at least now the communication to open and they can start sharing the product with people and they can start making money from a retail side. Right. Now, if I can sell to somebody my product or my service and I make $35 or I make $40 and I haven't signed anyone up, aren't I still happy that I've had success? And the answer is yes. Whether, most people never make a dime in network marketing. So if you have a product that you can move and you can sell it and it's tangible and somebody can actually exchange it from your hand to their hand and give you money for it, the ability to hold that money in your hand or receive that commission check from your company in a week or two is a result that now people are excited about, and they can say, you know, I've sold 10 of these, or I've lost 12 pounds with this, right? Or I saved X amount of dollars with this. So I don't necessarily like to say that I try to teach my team one or the other. I try to make sure that they understand that there's really two sides to this coin. If you want to build this as a business, you're going to have to talk to people about the business. Okay. Right. But for some people, it's just going to be easier to lead with the result first, and then they're going to be able to accumulate that. Now, for me, you know, I market health and wellness products, and I love the products that we market. But personally, I do better on the business opportunity side. Right? I don't know if this is my background or whatever. I don't have a problem talking about the business opportunity side, but I do retail the product as well sometimes. Right. I have a blog that kind of goes through that process and lets people buy from my blog on the retail side. They have no idea they can do this on their own. So I just think it's important for people to understand that when you have a company that allows you to sell on a retail side, that you at least now have a double whammy chance of being successful while you're learning the other side. Pick one side, get going with it, and then grow into the other side, whatever side that may be. People that are in service-based companies, if they're completely brand new, I don't knock that, but it's harder to sell a service than it is a product, generally, right? It's harder to sell something like electricity or gas or something that you don't see. Right? Because people don't, and it's not because there's anything wrong with that. It's because from a consumer standpoint, as a marketer, people like things they can feel, right? They want to touch it, they want to feel it, they want to see it. They want to
open it.
They will associate a value with what they can, a scrunchie for your hair, right? If I go into the store and I want to pay $2 for the scrunchie, I'm going to touch it.
Right.
Do I think this is worth $2, right? And if it is, I'll buy it. But if there was just a brochure about the scrunchie, right, then that's a whole different thing, because now I'm going to start looking for cheaper scrunchies, and I'd even buy a more expensive scrunchie if I could have it right now.
Right.
So that's just kind of the challenge that I give to people, is to understand that there's always two sides of a coin in our industry. If you struggle on the side of leading with the business op, then become a customer of your product or service. Generate a result and market your story as a way to generate additional customers and or business builders on the other side.
Have you found that your team takes to one side or the other and learns it more easily than the other side?
Some people, yeah. I mean, some people are just going to be product people. You know what I'm saying? Some people are the product guys. Some people are not the product guys. They are the opportunity guys. So those people can be in any company with any product or service and can shoot to the top of the pay plan, because it doesn't matter to them really what the product is. I mean, just given the fact that it's a legitimate product or service, it doesn't really matter what it is. Some people are, you know, dead focused on, I have to be a user of it, right? If I don't feel good about it, I'm not going to sell it. Those are the product people. So I've got a mix of both on my team, actually.
Okay. All right. So let's go back just a little bit. Let's say that I was just regular Joe Schmo off the street and I was looking to search for a network marketing opportunity. What are the things that I should be looking for when I go evaluate a company?
Well, one of the most important things is the management team. Okay, and I had to learn this over time. It's not generally something that when you go to and sit down and look at your very first network marketing opportunity, they do show you as part of the presentation who the management team is, or at least they should. Right. And, you know, you may or may not care at that point, right? You just are looking for, is there a way to make money with this thing? But I've come to learn that your management team, your CEOs, your presidents, your directors of sales, all these people, you know, really what kind of background do they have in our industry? Have they ever been in the field before? You see, there are a lot of owners of companies that have never been network marketers in the field. They just buy and sell companies.
Right.
And if that's the case, then sometimes they could care less about the needs and wants of the distributor force. Right? They would be anti increasing the pay plan for beginning distributors or anything like that, because it may cut into the profits of their paycheck or whatever it may be. So that's number one. I think looking at your management team, your corporate team, what kind of experience do they have? What is their exit strategy, if there is one for the company? Are they in this company to get it to a certain level and then sell it? Do they want to go public with it? Will it continue to be a family-owned company if it's more of a privately held type of situation? What are their visions and goals from a global perspective? Do they want to go global, or is this just a short-term something to make a bunch of money and then sell?
Right.
So management team is clearly important. The next thing would be, I think that the product is a very good thing to look at. Is there a need and a want in the marketplace for this product? And, we've got over 40,000 network marketing companies, basically, right? And there's tons of them, tons of them.
Yeah,
that
new
have
ones
opened
every
their
day.
doors and closed their doors and things like that over time. Yeah.
Right.
And there's a lot, so the issue is, everybody thinks that their product is the best, right? So that's fine too. But the issue isn't, is it the best, right? The issue really is, does this particular product have a place in the marketplace? Number one, can people go get it directly off of eBay?
Yeah.
Right? Can they buy your stuff off of eBay and bypass you, right? That needs to be a question. Can people go and get almost similar, exact similar from the grocery store? Right? Can they go to Sam's, or can they get it cheaper? Right? So you sell this, Sam's has pretty much the same thing, but you can buy it in bulk for $10 cheaper, right? Where does your product fit? And if it's a unique enough product, meaning that, let's say you sell iPhones or something, let's talk about iPhone for a second. For a while, iPhone was only with AT&T. Right? So what does that mean? That means that you have to go to AT&T. Now, did they have people that you could get the phone on eBay and they could crack the code and all that, right? That's kind of like black hat, right? We're talking about kind of like illegal stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to just keep it on the legal side of things. Technically, you had to go to AT&T to get the phone. So they had a unique place in the market because they didn't have any competition as far as where you can get the iPhone from. Right? After a while, they opened it up, and all the different companies now have it. So you really kind of want something where it's limited access with your product so that people have to come see you when it's time to go buy it, right? That keeps you unique. So I think the product is important and where it is in the marketplace. I think the timing of your company is important as well. Or at least when a person joins the company, because you could have a company that's 30 years old, like some of the big boys in the industry, or you could have a company that's 5 years old. Right? But when you join the company matters. Generally between year 3 and year 5, the company, that's a sweet spot where you can kind of grow with momentum. Now, there are always going to be some companies that are going to be ahead of growth in a 3 to 5 year period, and there are going to be companies that are going to be behind. Right? They're going to move slower than the average of 3 to 5 years. But if you can find a company that you can join between year 3 and year 5 and allows you to ride the wave of the company, well, then you're in a better position. So I think the timing of when you join needs to be important. If you got a 30-year-old company and you're joining at year 30, I'm not saying it's a bad company. I'm not saying the company's not proven. I'm not saying the products don't work. I'm saying that the incline in which the income is being made is not as steep anymore, and it's more leveled out. It's going to take you longer to make the same amount of money that if you were in the company year 3 to year 5, you'd be potentially a millionaire, right? So I think that's important. And then I guess I would say another aspect of things would be what are the expansion of the company, right? Are they going global? Is it something that can reach over international lines, or is it something that can only kind of sustain itself, for us here in the U.S.? I think with me being an internet marketer and understanding the power of reaching people that are outside of the Atlanta area is important, right? If I'm going to spend all my time with my blog and I can reach somebody in Indonesia, then I want to be able to sell that person a distributorship or my product in Indonesia, right? If I don't have the ability to do that, well, then that kind of restrains me to how much marketing I can do when now I only have to focus on, certain little pockets. For some people, that's great, right? But my vision is to have a totally global international business. I'm not looking to have a national business. I'm looking to have an international business.
Right.
So I want a global product, service, something. So based on those, and there's other things too, Ian, but I think that should give people a really good start with how to kind of evaluate it. And you know, you go to the meetings and, you know, you'll get caught up in how much money people have made and how exciting it is and how everybody needs this. It just makes sense. You're already doing it, so why not get paid to do it? That's all well and good.
When a person goes to a meeting,
you need those other things.
Yeah, that's true. When a person goes to a meeting, let's just be honest, it's hard to look past those money claims. Where people start talking about they made $100,000 this month and $70,000 and $50,000, it's just like, whoa, this is the company for me. Yep. But I know you mentioned the 3 to 5 year spot is pretty much the sweet spot. That's interesting because that's also, that 3 to 5 year area, that's also the range and most companies go out of business.
Exactly. So you want, you know, people get excited about these startup network marketing companies, right? Now, I'm not talking about internet marketing, affiliate programs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a traditional network marketing MLM company, right? They get caught up in, oh, get in on the ground floor and, you know, get your position now. And the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of work that goes into a network marketing company, not just from the sales, the distributor side, but also the corporate side. They've got to make sure that commissions are going to be paid on time. They're going to make sure, that the infrastructure in terms of technology and servers and all that stuff is together. They've got to make sure that shipment and shipping is on time. People order what they order and they get the right order on time, right? All those different mechanics have to take place. What about storage and being able to have inventory and things available, so when someone presses the submit button on the computer to order, that goes somewhere and somebody somewhere starts gathering and pulling this stuff off the shelf and putting it into the boxes and getting it to whoever's going to be shipping the products out. That sometimes takes time to get in the flow. Right? And if you're a brand new person in network marketing and you need money yesterday, you know, I can't say that I'm a big fan of you starting a startup, because startups, you got to take time for things to kind of mesh well. And there can be hiccups, and that's just business. It's not that it's bad as a startup. It just means that generally the big boys in the industry who already have teams of 10,000 people, 20,000 people, they can move their team over to a startup. They're going to make instant commissions like this. You know, it doesn't matter whether the company goes out of business in 12 months or not, because they've got the money, right, already. But you're brand new and you haven't recruited your first person yet, and it's ground floor. And by the time you figure out how to get 20 people on your team, the company has shut down, right? And you went broke trying to do it. So 3 to 5 years, like you said, the average startup company fails within the first 12 to 18 months. So not even 5 years. I mean, if you can get, that's why the sweet spot is 3 to 5. A company that makes it to 3 to 5 years, you got a better chance.
It's lowered since my last research. I thought it was 3 to 5 years. It's 12 to 18 months now. 12
to 18 months, most network marketing companies fail if they're gonna. If it's gonna fail, it's gonna happen within 12 to 18 months. Now, it doesn't mean it can't fail after that, but that's more where it's gonna, if it's gonna.
Huh, that's interesting. Okay, on my website at MLM Success Coaches, we teach the 4 different stages of learning, which is learn knowledge, activity knowledge, modeling knowledge, and teaching knowledge. I bring that up to ask you if you're into mentors. Do you have a mentor?
I do, actually. I have quite a few mentors.
You have quite a few? Okay, so if you're a person that doesn't have a mentor at all and you're looking to find a mentor, but you don't actually know the people, you don't actually know, let's say your sponsor is a dud and they're just not a good sponsor. How would you go about finding a mentor?
Well, I'll tell you what, I can only tell you what I did. There's tons of different ways. When I first came online, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know who was doing it big. I didn't know who was making the money, who was, you know, the go-to person or whatever. But I went online. I think I typed in something like internet network marketing or something like that. And this guy just kept popping up. And I would see his picture everywhere. So I would go to his website and I read some things on his website. He was giving away a free CD at that time called Recruit Like Crazy. So I opted in. I got this CD. I listened to the CD. I was on his email list. I started to receive some of the trainings that he was putting forth. If he did a conference call, I would make sure I got on it, or anything that he did in the marketplace. And I kind of watched him for a little while. You know, I kind of knew that, you know what, I think this is the person I'm probably going to try to reach out to. And in 2008, that person for me was Dagan Smith.
Okay.
And so, you know, he always had on this T-shirt, and he was young. You know, I mean, I came online in 2008, so that was, well, March 2008. So it'll be almost 4 years in March of this year. But I was about, I guess, that's okay, I guess about 31 at that time. And this guy was like 26 or something. Right? So I'm thinking, this guy's 26. He's making all this dang on money on this internet. I wonder how he's doing it. And it intrigued me. And I followed him. And that's how I chose my mentor, was pretty much just finding who was moving around a lot, who was being active in the marketplace, who had things available for me to tap into. I did not look for the person that had so much time on their hands that they were going to answer every time I called. Right? Because I wanted a person that was busy. I mean, it's kind of weird, but I wanted a person that was doing something. Right. And every time I call, you answering the phone and you ain't got nothing else better to do, that means you probably might not be doing as well as I think you are. Right. But I reached out to him. I tried to give him a call on Skype, and he did not respond. I emailed him. He did not respond. I don't remember how else. I think MySpace at that time. I was trying to reach out to him on MySpace. He didn't respond.
Wow.
And instead of getting upset, I just decided, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get results. Right, I'm going to use his program. I'm going to go get some results. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I was able to make this amount of sales or do this amount of whatever with your program, and maybe that would get his attention. That's exactly what I did. And once I did that, he responded. And I asked him would he kind of work with me a little bit, and he agreed to do so. And that was probably the best thing I ever did, was reach out to Dagan. Right.
Wonderful. Well, that lets you know that you can't give up. You got to stay persistent at what you want. And a good thing is what you mentioned of showing results. I mean, you bought his program, you made some money for him, then you made some money for yourself, then you asked him. A lot of people have the entitlement mentality where they feel like just reaching out on MySpace and just trying to contact person is enough. I think I contacted you about, 40 times?
Did you, Ian? No, you didn't. I don't remember this time you said something about an interview. I said, okay, that's fine.
No, I'm just playing. Okay, let's talk about tools. So, we are marketing our business online. We are blogging. We're using social media tools to be able to gain traction to our business. And we have tons of automation tools that we could use in the MLSP back office. We have tons of tools that we could promote as affiliate products. What is your favorite everyday tool that you use to market your business?
Well, I blog. I mean, that's kind of how I got started in MLSP. I blogged every day. I didn't have a lot of money when I first got going, and I needed something that I could leverage that was relatively free. I mean, you can blog for free, but if you're going to have the tools, you know, to kind of enhance your blogging experience, those are going to cost money, and you're going to have to pay for the education to learn how to blog properly. Right. So that whole blogging process, and so that's my favorite tool. And social media, I mean, like I said, it was MySpace when I first got going, and then I figured out how to use Facebook. So between Facebook and blogging, those would be my favorite two platforms, I would say. But there's a host of like applications and, you know, affiliate programs and things like that that can make some money for me while I'm doing some of those other activities. But as far as, you know, the tools I use every single day, right up to this day, would be my blog and Facebook.
Blog, yeah. Blogging is amazing. It's amazing what you could do with a community of people that are like-minded and really support your product. So that brings me back to another question. Now, you're online, you're blogging, and anybody that does any research online, they will find a guru or another guru, and they always say, get online, make money either selling a product or sell your own product. Now, for a lot of us, coming up with a product is like, wow. But I know you you have an informational product. So how did you come up with the concept for your first info product, and how did you go about creating that?
Well, I came up with the idea because at that time I was aggressively, MLSP at that time was like my saving grace, right? So I was marketing pretty much MLSP and nothing else. And I figured out how to get 20 to 30 leads a day from my blog. And Norbert and Brian from MLSP came to me and said, hey, listen, we'd love you to put a product together teaching our community how you are, number one, how you set up your blog and how you get all the stuff working behind the scenes. And if you could teach everyone how you do what it is that you do. And I said, okay, that's fine. So that's how the idea of the product came, because I was pretty much asked by MLSP. Right. And after that, then I had to kind of sit down and figure out, dang, how do I do what I do? I don't know. I just do stuff, right? So now it's about actually quantifying your processes, right, and keeping track of everything and breaking it down to a point that it's so simple that a person that had no idea about this could actually do it. Right. And so what I decided to do was I would start another blog from scratch. And during the development of that blog, I would record myself at each phase of the process and building this blog and capture it as I did it. And I did that in a video course, and that's how B-Blog Savvy came to be. And it's a 40 video course, which is basically looking over my shoulder through Camtasia on the screen. And if a person were to watch each video in order, they would see how I would take a blog that didn't exist all the way up to the domain name, getting it, all that stuff, through full-blown production with content on it, social media icons on it, plugins that I used pretty heavily at that time, getting some basic traffic to it and all that good stuff. So that's kind of how it came to be, and that was the process I went through in developing it. It was just taking a blog and recording every step. Right.
That's excellent. Well, for a beginner, that could be super overwhelming, but we just want to tell you, keep it simple. An information product, something to give to your list, could be something very simple like this. Get on the internet, find somebody to interview, do an interview and give it away. And then that's your product that you have to give to people. Or find something that has a PLR to it that allows you to give something away. The whole point that we're trying to get to is just get into action. Get something done. Now, do you use a virtual assistant to help you with any of this?
I do. I've gone through a lot of assistants. I've had virtual assistants, and for about a year, about a year, I had a physical assistant, a person that would come to my house every single day. Wow. And I would pay them, like real U.S. American salary. Which is different than like hiring somebody in the Philippines or somewhere else to do specific tasks. But I've had both, and I love having that outsource ability. But right now, I kind of scaled back because I kind of refined a lot of my processes over the last 12 months. So now I pretty much am focused on blogging more than anything, creating content. And I have a guy that does my articles. He writes my articles for me. I do the keyword research. I send the keywords to him. He writes the articles and, can put them onto my blog and post them and optimize them and all those things. And then I'll go in and syndicate them, of which that process I'm getting ready to outsource too. But I'm kind of particular about how I syndicate my content and things like that. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more training of my virtual assistant on that, because that's something that is kind of like, like women like their hair a certain kind of way, right? It's kind of like that. Don't mess with the way I syndicate my stuff. Right. So I'm kind of particular on that. And, and that kind of frees up. I use different tools as well to help auto-generate content as well for someone, because I have multiple blogs. Some blogs I'm not as active on, but they generate a lot of traffic because of the content of them. And so I have blogs that have auto-generated content that can get circulated out there. And I'm a firm believer on outsourcing if you can. You don't have to spend $1 billion on outsourcing. But, if we're talking about you want to blog and you want to create some content and you don't have time, then it's worth $5 an article, for you to pay somebody else to write the article. And all you got to do is come home and copy and paste, or edit, the way you want it and copy and paste. So I do use virtual assistants, yes.
That's true. That's true. I think with today, with crowdsourcing and everything that's going on with Fiverr and sites like that, I think there's no reason why you couldn't produce content every day, really, every day. Exactly. So I was on your blog the other day, speaking of blogs and content and everything, and it was a post that was talking about a viral blogging system. And I never heard that terminology. I was very interested. What is a viral blogging system? How does it work?
Well, essentially what happens is everyone wants their blog. I mean, you think about YouTube, right? The most craziest, stupidest videos on YouTube, they start getting a lot of views because it goes viral, right? And viral means that people are referring the video, right? So you watch the video and now you send out an email to all your friends and say, oh my God, go look at this video. This is so stupid, right? And then they go look and then they tell people and then they tell people and they tell people, and it takes on a mind of its own.
Right.
That's what viral is. Well, from a blogging perspective and social media, really, that's what we want, right? We want people to look at our content, say, oh man, that makes sense. And then they recommend, they send it out to their friends. Hey, go look at this blog post. This blog post explains this concept, or it tells me how to do keyword research or whatever it is. But most people, when they have a brand new blog, they literally don't have the circle of friends on a Facebook yet,
right,
or whatever the circle of influence that they have is not enough to make it go viral in that way. Well, a viral blogging system kind of combines the ability of all the users of that system and their blogging on that system as a way to create a highly active blogging platform, which we would call like an authority site.
Right.
And the higher the authority your site has, it pretty much means that Google looks at this site as being a site that a lot of people are going all the time.
Right.
And if you had a blog that people would go to all the time, then you could increase your chances of your content going viral, as opposed to not being on a viral blogging system, having your own little blogs in the middle of nowhere. Nobody even knows about it, and only you're going to it all the time, right? You can't spread it. So having the ability to take content, put it on a platform where thousands of others are coming to the exact same platform allows you to then have that content ranked a little bit faster and even higher than if you did it outside of that blogging platform, which means if you're on the first page of Google faster and higher up the page, then clearly when somebody types in that search term, you have the ability to be clicked on more often than not. That's traffic. Right? So the more traffic you have coming to that platform, that blog, then the more referrals you have the ability to acquire, the further it can spread out. And that type of platform helps people in our industry when they're starting out to really get traction. Right? We didn't have that really when I first started. I had to build my blog from scratch and make it its own authority. Right? And that takes work and time. And my blog has been online for 4 years. Right? But now people can join a viral blogging system and be blogging on a site that is 1,400 Alexa score, and virtually if you do some keyword research, you can have your dang content on the first page of Google within 24 hours, 18 hours, and that's unheard of really for newbies. So that's kind of what a viral blogging system is and what it can do.
So what platform would you recommend for a viral blogging system? I mean, if a person was listening to this and they decided, well, you know what, I want to get involved in something like that. I want a viral platform for myself. Where would you send them? Where would they go?
They would have to really check out Empower Network, because that's what I use. And I mean, it's just something that was created by a good friend of mine, David Wood. He's number 1 inside of MLSP. I think you told me the stat there. I'm like number 3 or something or whatever that is. We've been friends for the past 2 years or so. He is a genius. He is a literal, machine when it comes down to internet marketing and systems and recruiting and blogging and content and article marketing and things of that sort. There is no one out there that's like him in that way. And he kind of put this system together. And when he told me about it, it just made all the sense in the world. And it can be available. It can be of benefit to people in the network marketing industry. It can be of benefit to people who have their own small businesses. If you have a tax preparing business, wouldn't it be great to blog on a platform that helps you get the word out faster about your tax service in your city, where people can Google your tax service, right? And they show up, or your business shows up on the first page. You can start generating exposure and traffic and potential customers to your business right away. So small business owners, network marketers, direct sales professionals, anything that you have. I mean, even if you don't own your own business, but let's say you're a doctor, right? And you have a specialty or something that you provide, or you created a product for acne or something. Anything that you can get the word out about, Empower Network can give you the platform to blog about it, get on the first page, and drive more traffic and exposure to what you have.
Wow, that's powerful. So a high PR site, everybody's joining in, everybody's producing content. Google's always staying there, it's indexing everything fast. That's powerful. That's powerful. That knocks off years of having to do things on your own. Well, you know what, Tracey? I wanted to thank you for your time today. I appreciate you coming on the show, and I want to wish you the best in your business and all the prosperity that you're looking to have in 2012, okay?
Thank you, Ian, and I really appreciate you reaching out. It's definitely a pleasure us doing this interview, and thank you so much for contacting me and believing I could bring some value to your viewers and your listeners.
All right. You have a good day.
You do the same. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the MLM Success Coaches Show, where our motto is nobody wants a boss, everybody wants a coach. Until next time, have a great day.